play. Hey guys, my name is Marc from Jazz Guitar Lessons. Welcome to this video about, you've guessed it, backing tracks. We are so familiar with that count-in, you know, the I-reel or the band in the box. So what I want to do in this video is provide you better strategies to not waste any time while you're using backing tracks and you're playing, and I'll tell you how I've done it. And if you stick until the end of this video, I will provide free resources for you to use. That is a few goodies, so stick with me until the end of this video. Let's get going. All right, first, before we get going, I want to tell you the definition I have of backing track is anything that is used to accompany yourself while you perform. Typically, and what's traditionally heard by backing track, is a pre-recorded track of a band performing on which I can play on top, such as Jamie Aebersold backing track is a really famous one. It's a play-alongs that he produced. I'm not affiliated, jazzbooks.com, amazing publisher. So that would be like the grandfather of backing tracks. Nowadays, we have I-reel Pro, we have Band in a Box. Those are the two most famous. There's Drum Genius. There's also a looper pedal will count in this. So I have the Boss RC3 is my tool of choice, and there's also the Trio Plus pedal. Anything and everything that will allow you to play on top that accompanies you. That's not a band of real musicians, all right? You can go on YouTube, actually, and just type in backing track for How High the Moon, this jazz standard, and you will find it. So that's out of the way. Now let's get going with the materials. The first thing I want to address in this video is the traps or the typical downfalls of the landmines that people come into when they use backing tracks. One of the main things people can do with a rock or blues sort of solo is to learn the scale, B minor, blues, pentatonic, and then look it up, go online. This is B.B. King, The Thrill Is Gone, and then there's one scale, they put on the backing track and sort of extract that vocabulary from just playing around the scale. And there's really nothing wrong with that. I think that's a style of playing in which the craft is in the how, and the intricacies and the nuance, the subtleties of the playing. And my caveat for jazz players or becoming jazz players is that you won't probably, most likely, no, you won't. You won't be able to replicate this approach when you're doing jazz. And the reason is simple, is that there's way more chords going on, more vocabulary to cover, and more stuff happening, so that if you just put on a backing track for standard, like all the things you are, there's too many chords flying back at you that you won't necessarily be able to develop your vocabulary, because there's more than one scale. There's more than one thing that you have to do. So what worked for B.B. King, Eric Clapton, or learning Stairway to Heaven solo, it's not necessarily going to work, especially if you get confronted with Countdown or Giant Steps or like songs that are really difficult in jazz. So what's the remedy to that? So here's how to improve using backing tracks of any sort. The recipe's pretty simple, and I'll tell you why I do this, guys. Life is short, all right? Yeah, maybe it's my midlife crisis speaking, but life is short, and the more I get better, the more better I get on the instrument, the more enjoyment and satisfaction I have from playing it. So if I get better, I will have more fun playing. So my unsolicited advice to you, which at this point is solicited because you chose to watch this video, right? The advice is, well, use backing tracks in a smarter way so you make more progress. And this smarter way is to have a plan. Okay, that's the lesson. That's what I wanted to cover today. And what I mean by a plan is, say I'm putting on I-reel, I love I-reel Pro, and I'm putting on Autumn Leaves, okay? So it's 32 bars. I play it in the key of E minor, whatever, and I set it up for 4 choruses. I can just go in, and I'm at risk of suffering the same landmines and caveats and danger zone as doing my B.B. King thing if I go in not prepared, not knowing what I'm about to do, which is like true improv, but at the same time, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, because it happened to me, probably happened to you as well, is that you wind up playing the same old ideas and old things that you already knew how to play. So it's more like rehashing and vomiting and just noodling, in really in the bad sense of the word noodling, okay? So to avoid that, what I do, and that worked for myself, and the reason why I prescribe it to students now, link in the description below, actually, if you're interested in booking a call and discovering if we can work together on a coaching program, which I do with a limited amount of students. What I tell my students is, hey, that was cool, you submitted your video, and my main piece of feedback would be, next time, why don't you go into that with a plan, a game plan? I have Autumn Leaves. My first chorus, I'm going to do some arpeggios, starting on the 9th, descending in 8 notes. Never really done that, but I could figure it out, right? I'm like, okay, this is my plan. Then my second chorus, I'm going to do maybe guide tones, And my third course I'm going to go into guide tones, but approach, like target the thirds with lines that go as pickup notes. There I have a plan. Whether or not I'm able to achieve that is another story, but the thing is, this will guide the kind of work I have to do. So instead of having another bar, looking at the software, pitching you another bar of music and being sort of stuck in the same stuff, I'm working to add a constraint to open up the space to create my vocabulary. That's the advice. Just create a plan, okay? The plan can be as simple as it needs to be. It can be as complex as it needs to be. And it can address really the areas of your playing that are the weakest. If you have trouble with arpeggios, well, by all means, this is what you should be doing for 2 or 3 courses. If you have trouble with scales or chromaticism, well, let that be your goal. And then you use the backing tracks as a replica for a real jam session or real gig that you're about to do, because this song, the thing is not going to stop. Which is tremendous. That's why I love when people do it for like blues stuff. It's like, yeah, blues, soul, solos, whatever. It's not going to stop. The band's not going to go, okay, well, wait, I want to do the previous bar again. There's no stutter, there's no nothing. You got to go. So it's great that you replicate it with jazz, but at the same time, you have to be careful having a plan. Great? Great. Now let's move on. Just to finalize this video, as promised, I have resources. And I will tell you why I put this together, how you can access it, and how you can better use it. So I love Jamie Aebersold play-alongs, and there's like 150 or more volumes of backing tracks. But what they are basically are just open up a sheet, you have a bunch of chords, right? And then you put on the CD. That was back in my days. Maybe for you guys it was vinyl. I don't know. Now it's MP3s or it's all online, right? Streaming. I put it on. I had the sheet and I would just follow the chords. So what would I do? Pretty much like iReal, right? And same with a backing track that you find on YouTube. You may know the standard, it will just throw it at you, and it's just a bunch of chord changes. The ones I created are called, I like to call them jam sessions, because they actually feel like jam sessions. They've been produced in a collaboration with some of my good friends in Montreal, professional, top-notch, international level musicians that are actually playing these standards with you and for you, but not just playing a bunch of chord changes. They're actually playing the structure that we would have at a jam session. There's a roadmap where you know who's supposed to play the head in, who's going to do the comping during the bass solo, how long is the guitar solo. There's a timeline that scrolls through, which is tremendous, which is something I had never seen, that I produced and put up on the website. And this is free of charge, of course. And the way to use those is, all right, you still need the lead sheets or a real book sheet or whatever. You still need to know the song you're working on. But the way it's set up, it's providing you a background for an actual jam session with the actual order of things of appearance. Like I know the sax player is going to play the melody and I need to shut up. And then I know the first solo is the piano solo and I'm supposed to comp behind it, right? All of this is said, while all other kinds of backing tracks, they don't have that material. So that's why I think it's so powerful. Now, in blue, typically in my diagrams, my time frame and roadmaps, you will have the guitarist's role. And this is where we're lacking. Well, what are you going to do with that? Is this just a solo, or are you actually working on something? But this is a really amazing resource. So how to access it? See the link in the description below. There's a free group/community/classroom called the Jazz Guitar Fellowship. There's probably over 1,000 people on it right now. And there's a class on how to use my 7-stage process to make, increase your chops. The one I use with my private students, the one I use on myself when I encounter new tunes. There's a quick explainer, there's jam sessions, there's standards that are arranged in chord melody format, all in Sound Slice. So this is the jam sessions track. I'll provide a direct link. So all you need to do is just create an account. Set up your email. It's a one-click thing. And just create your account so you can use these backing tracks and make sure you use them in a smart fashion, that you join the community. And then what's lacking from that, of course, is the coaching. So what are you going to do as far as a plan to get into that? And then also, what are you going to do if you want to get feedback on your playing, which is exactly what I do in my coaching platform, which is, of course, a paid service and product that you can access. Right now, it's called Jazz Guitar Accelerator. If you want more information, you can see the link in the description. And other than that, that's it. So I will let you go. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I will see you in further videos. Please make sure you like and subscribe and share these videos. And I'll see you as well on the website, so jazzguitarlessons.net/blog. for more free resources. See you soon. Take care, guys. Bye.